Hey guys, Nuie here back again for the second portion of our White Palace raid tutorial. So I hope you guys enjoyed the first portion of the raid, which was the outside court guards. And next boss, we are heading inside, and we're facing on the Prophet. Or well, technically I call it the Prophet, but he's technically the I don't know his name, but I'm not paying attention to it. But he's just in the theater, and he's a bit more complicated in terms of what he does, but I actually enjoy him as a boss fight because it was pretty much more challenging to do him. Now I did speed up this boss fight because my raid group did make a few mistakes, so it ended up taking us quite a bit of time to do this. In this portion of the fight, he has a health split where he wants everyone to go hide in bubbles and protect themselves from it. But our raid group did not really pay attention, so we all kind of died. um, but we just kind of revived it up because I can pretty much tank it, and we had the DPS survive and a healer survive, so we all just were like, all right, let's just go through it, and we'll figure out the tactics that way. But I'm gonna tell you guys, based off of watching us fail and how we did it, what I perceive to be the best way to handle this boss. Now, three things to know about the boss originally. He has three buffs outright from beginning before his phase change. The first buff, as you'll see, or the first debuff, I should say, as you'll see, is that purple debuff on me that puts down balls under your feet. The best way to handle it is to have whoever gets it to go to the outside of the room and drop the balls along the outside of the room, or if you're tanking the boss, to the back side of the room towards the back of the thing, so that you're not putting the balls in the way of anyone else. The balls themselves will do a large amount of damage to people, so they're to be avoided. The second debuff is a bomb debuff, and it was that timer that you just saw. You can see, as you can currently see, it's that timer. It just explodes. So all you have to really do when you have it is just move away from everybody else in your party and just let it explode. Um, it does a decent amount of damage, but it shouldn't kill you outright. So you should, assuming your stats are correct and you have a significant a adequate amount of health, you should be perfectly fine. Just take that damage. The last debuff is a green scepter under your name. This debuff is a little bit unique because unlike the rest, you do not actively see it come up. It does not have like a visual effect, but it does come up in your bar, as you can see under my health bar currently. It's there. What this buff does is that anyone who has it for about 5 seconds cannot attack or use any abilities. Now, from what we tested, it doesn't mean you cannot heal, and from what else we tested, if you have previously activated a dot before the buff comes out, you are not affected by the damage from that. So if you're like a summoner and you put out your plague and then you get the buff, you won't be affected because of the dots that you already had out. It's any damage you do after that. So just be aware of it, and be aware of whether or not you have it. Now, one of the add-ons that I have actually tells me constantly, as you can see, it's right next to my the health add-on. It constantly displays who's getting these debuffs, so I'm able to call them out to my raid party. I would definitely suggest you guys get that because it's very helpful. It is on Aladar Pro's site, and it's just called the boss tracker, and it tells you any type of debuffs that the boss is gonna put out. It's just a very useful tooltip. I like to run it because one, I raid lead, and two, as a tank, it's just very easy for me to talk to and constantly communicate to my raid party with what's going out. So the next portion of this, or the last real portion of this, is the boss's split phase. Now, what he does when he gets to that split phase is that he puts two debuffs on people. One is a button, and one is just a port. And from what the description of them says, is that you can command what's going on. Now, in hard mode, this is a bit different because that'll be more of a follow the leader portion where you have to dodge walls of flame. But in normal mode, it really dictates how you are supposed to stand behind or stand under these bubbles. Um, when he's getting ready to do this ability, there's no particular countdown to it, but it gives you ample time to get under a protective bubble so that you don't die. I cannot exactly say which bubble it is. I always just picked one and said, okay, it doesn't matter. I have enough health as a tank. I'll live through it. But as a DPS, it is kind of important, but I can't really specify what it was. Now, from what my healer said is that he always went under the same bubble without a bomb inside of it, so and he was fine. So it might just be that, or it might also be a specific one, and the buff itself will tell you. If anyone else is more aware of what it is, then I would definitely appreciate a comment below, saying what it was and how best to avoid that. But as I said, I just can't entirely tell you how it was. I've never really died from it. I've always just gone under the correct bubble and just never died. So I don't know if it's not. I don't know if it's like a specific thing or you have to be aware of something. I don't know if you're just supposed to avoid the bomb itself, but it's just I never had a huge problem avoiding the damage from this. Also, I mean, if you're running caution, by the way, too, it's really the damage from it can be reduced enough that you won't die as long as you're under a bubble. So you should be fine that way too. And concentration might protect you from it as well. So there's just a couple ways now based off of stats that you can really get that I can really offer you to help you out. But yeah, as I said, we didn't want to restart because we were all getting a little bit tired. We did this raid I think at like 1 a.m. or something. So we were getting a little bit tired and we just wanted to get through it. So we just said, okay, well, I'm alive, our healer's alive, so I'll just DPS and we'll just go. And we'll just res DPSs. As I said, like, I didn't really get under a bubble there. I didn't really take enough damage to die or anything. Our healer didn't die, but both of our DPS just kept dying. So we were getting a little frustrated, and I guess me and our healer just ended up having to just DPS it down and just get through it. Um, for all of you annoying plebs out there, yes, Pally is getting changed in the upcoming 8.1 patch, so I may not be able to do this type of stuff anymore. Hopefully I will be able to, because I love the way I can Pally tank right now, but I'm interested for the changes, though not overly excited because I'm just not entirely sure what to expect. Um, if you guys if you guys have seen me from playing before, I was a long time Holy Pally fan, and I was disappointed when they removed that from the game. I'm still a bit disappointed because PvPing in Holy Pally was always the most fun for me. But I learned the new Pally. I got used to the new cannon system and the new rotation system, so I'm not too sad about it. But it was a fun moment in the past. But as I said, you just need to just keep focused, be aware of the three buffs at all times, and be aware of those splits, and that's all you got to really focus on. And then just DPS the boss, and he goes down pretty easily if you're not doing it like us, where you have to do it with a tank and a healer. But like if your DPS are able to just stay alive and be focused and not screw each other over with debuffs or anything like that, then this will be an easy boss and you guys will just blow through it. The next boss after this will be the third boss in here, and he is a little bit more challenging in terms of he has a pretty difficult one-shot mechanic, but other than that, he's not horrible, but it is a bit dependent on, once again, on having someone who can dispel the party. I definitely prefer to have a bard because bards have Sonata, which is a party dispel, and it'll instantly dispel everyone in the party so that your healers and other classes don't have to immediately get out of it. But that will be the next upcoming video. Hope you all enjoyed this video. And I hope you guys be sure to leave any comments or anything you want to see me do in Allies below. I also have been playing TCG Legends, which is the Elder Scrolls Legends, the Elder Scrolls Online at Legends game. So I'll definitely be having videos up for that. As I said, I'm probably in my first video that I released. I probably want to get them out most likely Wednesdays and Thursdays, but that might change depending on how my content goes between 8.1's patch release. If I don't have, if I get a little bit swamped with trying to understand the new patch and new pally and stuff, and pretty much all my classes actually are getting changed a little bit, so I might release Legends videos in between that, but I hope you guys enjoy those.
Heaven sent my residence, it's evident, just visiting, blending.